17 minutes. I would love for everyone to close out any windows, maybe turn our phone off, upside down, especially for the first 5. We are going to set some really powerful grounding for the day, for the week, who knows, possibly for the remainder of 2017. And then we are going to watch, courtesy of Lisa Marie. Thank you for sharing in the group. I know a lot of you have seen it, but I felt it was so imperative that all experience the awesomeness that is this video. So it's 10:33, we're getting started. So gang, we had the pleasure of spending time with some of our level 2 folks in Charleston this past week. And I was doing my morning routine on, I don't know what day it was, I think it was Saturday. And I listened to a really cool meditation on Insight Timer. So for any of you who are looking to kind of get into meditation as a part of your morning routine, which you know how much we all encourage that, Insight Timer is a great app. And there was a meditation that I was listening to called I Am. And it inspired me to think about what our folks were going to be, what the team was going to be presenting and sharing that day. And so I did kind of a version of that, which I would love to share with all of you this morning. So I want to, for the next 3 to 4 minutes, I want you all to just really kind of just, if anything's in your hands, Tony, I know you're driving, it's cool. Just listen, drive safely. I want your hands to be free. I want you to be, sitting somewhere if you can. If you're multitasking, if you can grab a seat for the next 5 minutes and just get really, really present. Let's all take just a really deep breath to get started. And I really want to just create some space. It's Monday. I know we're excited. A lot of us are coming off of a weekend. We're thinking about what we're doing today, what we're locking today, who we're talking to. What are we going to be doing in our system? There's a lot happening in our brains right now. So I really just want you to all take a couple of really deep breaths and just kind of come into the space in your body and your day. And if you could just close your eyes, and I want you to join me in the following affirmations. And as I'm saying them, I want to invite you to say it to yourself. And really think about the possibility of what we can create in this day, of what we can create in this week, and the remainder of 2017 and beyond. I am a powerful co-creator of everything that I desire. I am open to new ideas and ways of being that improve my business daily. I am committed to being the best version of me that I can be every single day so that I may serve others with maximum impact. I am excited to have a system in place to ensure that my team and clients have an exceptional experience. Today, I'm excited to practice the system and structure that will give me the freedom and flexibility that I so desire. I am so grateful to have peers that provide feedback and insight that will lead to even more clarity. I love being a part of a community that shares ideas, strategies, support, and that propels me toward my dreams. Today, I will take decisive action on an idea that will catapult my business in the next 12 months. And I am so grateful for the opportunity to positively impact my family, my friends, and my community. I will bring my unique life experiences and gifts to my business. There is no one else like me who can deliver what I can. And I'm excited to create a business that reflects who I am. I am excited to have fun in the process, to stay focused on my goals and vision while being present and grateful for all that I have today. I am courageous. I am proactive. I have the power to choose how I feel today. And today, I am going to take action to move toward what feels good so that I can attract everything that I want in my business and my life. Today is going to be awesome. As you guys are going into your day today, in the conversations that you're having, in the actions that you're taking, I want you to come back to this moment. Bring this moment into those conversations. Bring that feeling into your action. I'm going to post this in the group as well if it's anything that you want to use as a part of your morning routine. But guys, this is the magic and this is where it all starts. So today, if you haven't seen it, Lisa Marie shared probably, I don't know, one of the most inspiring talks that I've heard in quite some time. So I felt it was worthwhile to make sure everyone is seeing. And if you've already seen it, enjoy it again, because I certainly am.
Ever met in my life. Third grade dropouts. Wisest and dropout in the same sentence is rather oxymoronic. Like jumbo shrimp. Like fun run. Ain't nothing fun about it. Like Microsoft Works. Y'all don't hear me. I used to say like country music, but I've lived in Texas so long, I love country music now. I hunt, I fish, I have cowboy boots and cowboy. Y'all, I'm a black neck redneck. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? No longer oxymoronic for me to say country music. And it's not oxymoronic for me to say third grade and dropout. That third grade dropout, the wisest person I ever met in my life, who taught me to combine knowledge and wisdom to make an impact, was my father. A simple cook. Wisest man I ever met in my life. Just a simple cook. Left school in the third grade to help out on the family farm, but just because he left school doesn't mean his education stopped. Mark Twain once said, I've never allowed my schooling to get in the way of my education. My father taught himself how to read, taught himself how to write, decided in the midst of Jim Crowism, as America was breathing the last gasp of the Civil War, my father decided he was going to stand and be a man. Not a black man, not a brown man, not a white man, but a man. He literally challenged himself to be the best that he could all the days of his life. I have 4 degrees. My brother is a judge. We're not the smartest ones in our family. It's a 3rd grade dropout daddy. A 3rd grade dropout daddy who was quoting Michelangelo, saying to us, boys, I won't have a problem if you aim high and miss, but I'm going to have a real issue if you aim low and hit. A country mother quoting Henry Ford, saying if you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right. I learned that from a 3rd grade drop. Simple lessons. Lessons like these. Son, you'd rather be an hour early than a minute late. We never knew what time it was at my house because the clocks were always ahead. My mother said for nearly 30 years, my father left the house at 3:45 in the morning. One day she asked him, why, Daddy? He said, maybe one of my boys will catch me in the act of excellence. I want to share 2 things with you. Aristotle said, you are what you repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence ought to be a habit, not an act. Don't ever forget that. I know you're tough, but always remember to be kind. Always. Don't ever forget that. Never embarrass mama. Yeah. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. If daddy ain't happy, don't nobody care. But, I tell you. Next lesson. Lesson from a cook over there in the galley. Son, make sure your servant's towel is bigger than your ego. Ego is the anesthesia that deadens the pain of stupidity. Y'all might have a relative in mind you want to send that to. Let me say it again. Ego is the anesthesia that deadens the pain of stupidity. Pride is the burden of a foolish person. John Wooden coached basketball at UCLA for a living, but his calling was to impact people. And with all those national championships, guess what he was found doing in the middle of the week? Going into the cupboard, grabbing a broom, and sweeping his own gym floor. You want to make an impact? Find your broom. Every day of your life, you find your broom. You grow your influence that way. That way, you're attracting people so that you can impact them. Final lesson. Son, if you're going to do a job, do it right. I've always been told how average I can be. Always been criticized about being average. But I want to tell you something. I stand here before you, before all of these people, not listening to those words, but telling myself every single day to shoot for the stars, to be the best that I can be. Good enough isn't good enough if it can be better. And better isn't good enough if it can be best. Let me close with a very personal story that I think will bring all this into focus. Wisdom will come to you in the unlikeliest of sources, a lot of times through failure. When you hit rock bottom, remember this. While you're struggling, rock bottom can also be a great foundation on which to build and on which to grow. I'm not worried that you'll be successful. I'm worried that you won't fail from time to time. Person that gets up off the canvas and keeps growing, that's the person that will continue to grow their influence. Back in the 70s, to help me make this point, let me introduce you to someone. I met the finest woman I'd ever met in my life. Back in my day, we'd have called her a brick house. This woman was the finest woman I'd ever seen in my life. There's just one little problem. Back then, ladies didn't like big old linemen. The blind side hadn't come out yet. They like quarterbacks and running backs. We're at this dance, and I find out her name is Trina Williams from Lompoc, California. And we were all dancing, and we're just excited. And I decide in the middle of dancing with her that I would ask her for her phone number. Trina was the first one. Trina was the only woman in college who gave me her real telephone number. The next day, we walked to Baskin & Robbins ice cream parlor. My friends couldn't believe it. This has been 40 years ago, and my friends still can't believe it. We go on a second date, and a third date, and a fourth date. We drive from Chico to Vallejo so that she could meet my parents. My father meets her. My daddy, my hero, he meets her, pulls me to the side and says, is she psycho? But anyway, we go together for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. By now, Trina's a senior in college. I'm still a freshman, but I'm working some things out. I'm so glad I graduated in 4 terms. Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan. So now it's time to propose. So I talked to her girlfriends, and it's California. It's in the 70s, so it has to be outside. Have to have a candle, and have to have, some chocolate. Listen, I'm from the hood. I had a bottle of Boone's Farm wine. That's what I had. She said yes. That was the key. I married the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen in my life. Y'all ever been to a wedding, and even before the wedding starts, you hear this? How in the world? And it was coming from my side of the family. We get married. We have a few children. Our lives are great. One day, Trina finds a lump in her left breast. Breast cancer. 6 years after that diagnosis, me and my 2 little boys walked up to Mommy's casket. And for 2 years, my heart didn't beat. If it wasn't for my faith in God, I wouldn't be standing here today. If it wasn't for those 2 little boys, there'd have been no reason for which to go on. I was completely lost. That was rock bottom. You know what sustained me? The wisdom of a 3rd grade dropout. The wisdom of a simple cook. We're at the casket. I'd never seen my dad cry. But this time I saw my dad cry. That was his daughter. Trina was his daughter, not his daughter-in-law. And I'm right behind my father, about to see her for the last time on this earth. And my father shared 3 words with me that changed my life right there at the casket. It would be the last lesson he would ever teach me. He said, son, just stand. You keep standing. You keep standing, no matter how rough the sea, you keep standing. And I'm not talking about just water. You keep standing. No matter what, you don't give up. And as clearly as I'm talking to you today, these were some of her last words to me. She looked me in the eye and she said, it doesn't matter to me any longer how long I live. What matters to me most is how I live. I ask y'all one question, a question that I was asked all my life by a 3rd grade dropout. How you living? How you living? Every day, ask yourself that question, how you living? Here's what a cook would suggest you to live this way. That you would not judge, that you would show up early, that you'd be kind, that you'd make sure that that servant's towel is huge and used, that if you're going to do something, you do it the right way. That cook would tell you this, that it's never wrong to do the right thing, that how you do anything is how you do everything. And in that way, you will grow your influence to make an impact. In that way, you will honor all those who have gone before you, who have invested in you. Look in those unlikeliest places for wisdom. Enhance your life every day by seeking that wisdom and asking yourself every night, how am I living? May God richly bless you all. Thank you.
So as we go out into this Monday, what are you a stand for? How do we want to show up in the world? And team, let's make excellence a habit and get out there and win the day. You guys have a great week.